Good morning to you. Welcome to the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show on not just another channel, Camnet TV. This is the Rise and Thrive. I'm your host. My name is Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and Liseli is back.
Finally. It feels good to be outdoors and living my life.
We thank God for your recovery. I missed you so much.
COVID is bad, my girl. COVID is not your friend.
We need to catch up. But we thank God you managed. You're here alive and well, and welcome back.
Thank you so much. It feels so good to be back. It feels good to be back on your TV screens. A lot has happened during the past week. So much going on.
Heavy dark cloud.
The 14 days of self-isolation. I missed out on quite a lot. I need to be updated on quite a lot also.
Got you.
Yeah, well, you're watching the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show right here on Camnet TV, not just another channel. We have a fun-packed program lined up for you, quite interesting stories, revelations happening during the course of the month. As you may be aware, we are heading towards the general elections. We are remaining with how many days?
So I'm going to count July as 1 month,
yes,
and then August as 11 days.
So we are almost there.
Yeah.
I hope you have your voter's card.
Yeah.
I always check on mine every now and then just to make sure
I
that
do it every
intact.
Sunday when I'm doing the cleanup. Like, I just need to check where I put it.
Just in case. I've never been more excited about casting my vote.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is this the first time?
No. This is actually my third time voting.
Oh, yeah? It's going to be my second time.
Yeah, it's my third time voting. And I think I've never been more excited about an election because it's an interesting election.
Yeah, this one is an interesting one, considering the fact that we're doing it amid COVID-19. The PF and the UPND who were suspended in some district of the country for 14 days, which will come to an end next week on the 29th. Ban of political rallies, door-to-door campaigns. There's just so much that this election actually has come with. So I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward.
So if you want to get interactive, you can get in touch with us on our Facebook page. Just look for Camnet TV on Facebook and we will get chatting. The numbers that you're also calling us on are 09688675275 Let's get in touch and let's get interactive. The question that we are asking you today is, drum roll.
Down.
Do you think the PF, the Patriotic Front, and the United Party for National Development, UPND, have learned their lesson in regards to political violence after the ECZ ban? As Precious just mentioned, you may be aware that on the 15th of June, ECZ suspended, cancelled all forms of rallies and road shows and limited the number of people doing door-to-door campaigns to 3 political party members per household. So do you think the UPND and the PF have learned their lesson in regards to political violence? Let's get interactive. Let's get in touch. But for now, let's get into the morning boost. Exercise your muscles.
Yep.
We will catch you on the other side.
It's a beautiful morning and I welcome you to Morning Boost. I'm so glad that you've tuned in and hope you had a great night. So let's do some workouts this morning and we're going to have a great time. So we're going to start with a warm-up and then make some aerobics movements for today. Okay, ready? Let's go. A beautiful morning to everybody and welcome to Morning Boost. Let's go. Go. And the V step now. Let's go. Last V step. Back to step touch. V step. Let's go. Let's go. And marching. And 4, 3, 2, step touch, go. Bring in your hands now. Let's go. Let's go. Just a quick workout in the morning. Not a full-fledged workout, no. Keep going. And 4, 3, 2, hamstring, go. Four, 3, 2, step touch. Four, 3, 2, and hamstring. And 4, 3, 2, step touch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Keep going. Stay at it. Go. Easy basic workouts for the morning. And marching. Skip jump now. Go. Let's go. Skip. Try this. Even if you feel heavy in your body, you can do this. Let's go. There's always a first time. You may struggle, but it's doable. Let's go. And 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Change now. Let's go. Very easy for a morning workout. Lift your knee very high. Go. Let's go. Stay at it. Stay at it. We're going to bring in a kick now from a knee high to a kick. Go. Go. Let's go. Let there be a blood circulation on your legs so that you don't have that numbness you feel at times. Kick. 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 Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Straight kicks now. Go. Straight kicks. Go in the sides. Okay, keep going. Almost done with our 5 minutes workout. Knee high. Try this every morning. It's going to do wonders to your body. Let's go. We're almost there. All right, team. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This is Isaac Matsa, your presenter. I'm going to see you next time at the same time. And have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Well, welcome back. Hope you've managed to actually stretch those muscles. Remember, we bring you the morning boost every Saturday just to make sure that you exercise. And we always mention you don't have to wait for that 7 days before we come on your screen to remind you to exercise. You can do it on your own. Just go on the net, search for what you want to work on, do the running, long distance walks, and then you'll be good. So yeah,
I think we need to challenge ourselves. Perhaps
you and me.
Yes. Perhaps maybe the next morning boost we should join in. I think we should join. Hey,
you ready? I'm just looking out for you.
No, I'm in good shape. I'm in good shape.
We can do the next morning boost.
I think we should.
We should do the next morning boost.
Yes, we should do the next morning boost.
It will be fun though.
Yes.
It will really be fun.
No, that's a challenge.
Okay, a challenge accepted. We just need to find a day. I know Isaac will be ready. The studio will be ready for us whenever we are ready. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be quite interesting.
As you may be aware, we are in the 21 days set aside to mourn the first Republican president, the late Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, who passed away. Quite a sad development there. You know, it's quite interesting, the memories that I have of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. He actually used to visit where I used to stay. He used to visit my neighbor, the late Mr. Matipa. He used to be the general manager for Hotel Intercontinental. So we lived in the same apartment building. And Dr. Kenneth Kaunda would come and visit my neighbor. But I was so young, it was just one of those things like, oh,
this man that comes to
KK.
visit.
I didn't even know him as KK. I just knew him as a man that would visit my neighbor. And it's only when I grew up that I realized to say, wow,
used to see him.
He would actually even say hi. Even RB used to visit the late Mr. Matipa at the Coventry Flats in Dongecas. And it was just one of those things. He was an amazing man. Being young, not knowing who he was exactly, he was very kind. Yeah, those are the memories that I have of him because, of course, I was born way after his regime came to an end.
I think he's actually set his left marks, not just in Zambia, but across the globe. I was amazed to see how many African countries actually were flying their flags halfway in recognition of his departure. And also, it's quite an amazing. I got an opportunity to actually do a narration of the documentary that we did here, and getting to understand the type of a man that he was. He was a well-spoken man. He knew what he wanted for Zambia and for African countries.
He definitely did have a vision.
Yeah, for the fact that he even managed to get his people to go and fight for freedom for other countries after Zambia got its independence. For me, that was just it. I'm like, he's really lived his life.
No, that is the definition of leaving a legacy behind and living a life on purpose for a purpose, because he knew. You know, I think it was very challenging being a founding father, because then you don't have an example.
True.
You don't have a basis to regard what democracy looks like. You don't have a basis in regards to what freedom actually looks like. But for him and other people, the Harry Mwanga, Nkumbulas, all these other people that went before us had to, you know, grasp the fact that there was a better life other than the life they were living under colonialism, and for them to just gather themselves, create something incredible such that we are able to enjoy our freedom even today, and even go all the way and actually influence. You know, it really takes a lot if you have an idea to convince the next person, your mate, to say, worse, even older people, to say, you know what, there's a better life than the life we are actually living and actually achieving. Wow.
It's a wow.
Yeah,
it's a
wow. Yeah, I'm at a loss of words to describe the man that he was, the family man, how he kept his family so knitted together and connected, and the fact that, you know, you could even see how much he loved his wife.
Family oriented.
He was very family oriented, and at the same time he was able to manage the country. That's just profound.
Yeah, it is profound.
So profound.
We continue to celebrate him, and they have decided to actually move him in all 10 provinces so that people can pay their last respect, though they won't be able to see the body, but they will be able to actually say their goodbye, see the casket, and then a short church service will be held in all the 10 provinces, and it will be televised as well.
Have you watched one so far? I got an opportunity to watch the first one, which was in Choma district, Southern Province.
I haven't gotten.
I took some time to follow the... Okay.
Yeah.
A fundraising. Should we do a GoFund? How many people want to do a GoFund for...
To buy pressure tickets? But I haven't seen short clips on social media from the Facebook friends that I have. Not really a whole service. Someone who just say, "Oh, pay my last respect." And there's actually some drama going on social media concerning Dr. Kaunda's funeral. Some female Zambian celebrity actually went to pay her last respect, and people didn't take it well with what she was wearing, and also having a whole photo shoot at the table where there was the book of condolences. So there's that drama going on social media, and also we've seen different people come out paying their last respect, messages of condolences, and those that have actually been gotten an opportunity to actually also go and sign in the book of condolences for Justice
Irene
Mambeli, my Chief Justice Irene Mambeli. It was actually a great loss. I just feel that last week it was just...
It was overwhelming.
It was overwhelming
for everyone, because in as much as these other figures passed away, I think the numbers of COVID-19 have also added to the number of losses that have taken place besides the death of the first Republican president. I think everybody's overwhelmed with the fact that they're losing loved ones. I personally lost a loved one.
Home.
Yes, it's too close to home. You know, it's different from the first wave where you were skeptical about, oh, is this COVID even real? I don't know anybody that has died of COVID, or I don't know anybody that has been affected with COVID. It was far-fetched.
Yeah.
But then it's closer to home.
Friends,
now it's
family.
about the neighbor having it. I think a number of people that I know have had COVID, and we just thank God that we have survived and we have pulled through. We are living in tough times. That's a fact. We are living in tough times. We need to make so many adjustments, whether it comes to our movements, because the thing is that I can't even trace where I got it from, because I don't know anybody that I encountered that was aware that they had COVID and probably passed it on to me.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for any tracing. And that tells me that almost everybody has it because of, you know, the incubation period and whatnot. So
you might actually not even get hold of where you got it from.
Yes, like I'm unable to.
Person. It's actually sad because I've had friends of friends or even friends and relatives that would actually call to say, oh no, I'm down with COVID, just make sure that you take precaution and stuff like that. It's the third wave has actually hit too close to home, because I remember receiving about, I think, 3 funerals not this week, that just ended, the other week, of a friend's friend and also a friend's mom and a friend's dad who actually passed on because of COVID. So we in as much as we got too comfortable to say, oh, Corona is there now, we are adjusting to the new normal, it's hit harder than before, and it's high time that we actually take it very serious, because you might not know who you might get it from or who you might give it to. So just make sure, as we always say, mask up. When you have an opportunity to wash your hands, carry the hand sanitizer, carry that tiny bar soap. When you get an opportunity to wash your hands, just wash your hands. Just take precaution.
And also in regards to COVID, the vaccines, the second dose of the vaccines are actually in. Perhaps we can have the director upstairs preparing that clip where we saw
the second dose of
the COVID-19 vaccine being administered. Dr. Jonas Chanda, I saw pictures on social media receiving his second dose. I also saw the director the Permanent Secretary, Technical Services under the Ministry of Health, Dr. Kennedy Malama, also taking his second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at Kalingalinga clinic right here in Lusaka. So please check your dates, because I wasn't fortunate enough to being vaccinated, but I am aware that they were given dates to
when
go
to get
back.
the second.
Yes, when to get the second dose.
So there's a certain period you're supposed to wait for the
Yes,
second.
it's not just immediate where if it comes in and then you go. They have specific dates. Because I was just checking on my parents. Theirs is like in July. Yeah, in July. So then they will be ready. It's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, 10 weeks apart. Yes, something like that. There's a there's a specific
like
number
2 months,
of weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes, something like that. I'm not too sure. I'll get clarification before the end of the program. But yes, there is a specific amount of time that you're supposed to wait before you get the second dose of the vaccine. So please check your cards.
Your cards.
Check when exactly. Don't miss your date. Follow the procedure, and just when another dose comes, because government has also outlined when exactly what will be coming in and when. I'm looking forward to getting vaccinated this time around. Immediately I hear, and I know a number of citizens are with me on this one. I think we'll actually see a higher demand
of the vaccine,
after this third wave.
And you remember we had this conversation when we had the second wave and the vaccine came through. I think it was actually on this program when I was telling to say Zambians were too relaxed when it comes to certain things, but then there's like that thing that will happen which will be a wake-up call, and one of them was the COVID-19 vaccine. I remember saying that now people are not concerned. It's just those that want to get vaccinated, they'll get vaccinated. Now that the third wave has hit, there are people that are actually regretting. They're remorseful right now because they didn't get the first vaccine. So now it's going to be on demand.
Guilty.
Guilty as charged too. So I will be I was just about to say, I will be one of those people that will actually
walk the walk of shame.
Walk of shame to go and get your first dose of vaccine and then wait for the second one. So we're advising those that haven't gotten the first vaccine that you go and get it. And if you feel uncomfortable about getting your vaccine, make sure that you get the information that you need so that you are well informed while you go through with this, the side effects and also the benefits of getting vaccinated.
And also, I think one of the things that need clarification with a lot of people, and the question that was going around even then, is the fact that when you get the vaccine, are you immune completely?
Oh, it's just for a certain period of time.
Yes, and the answer that I got is that you can get COVID-19 even after being vaccinated, but then it lessens the side effects of the virus when you actually get it. Yes, so you won't necessarily reach levels of going to oxygen and whatever. So it limits the effects
so
that it has.
The fever,
yes,
the flu,
but it won't be as bad as somebody who has not been vaccinated. Because this thing it's a variant, so it's progressing. It's evolving. Because now even the symptoms that people are getting now are different from the symptoms that people were getting in the beginning. There's diarrhea now, there's...
What?
Yes. And this is TV, but we're speaking reality.
Damn.
Yeah. Yes, you should be wary. You should be wary. I still don't have my taste. I still don't have my smell. So,
fam, listen.
You should be very afraid.
This is my legit reaction. What now?
Are we ready with the clip, Mr. Director of... let's get into that clip.
Ministry of Health has commenced the administration of the second dose of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines to every Zambian citizen who access their first dose. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services Dr. Camnet Malama announced this development at Kalingalinga Clinic in Lusaka, where he and other stakeholders led way to take their second dose and encourage every Zambian who took their first dose to ensure they access their second to allow the vaccines perform their functions.
So today, the 23rd of June, we've commenced administering the second dose of AstraZeneca. If you remember, we did receive AstraZeneca as a country on the 12th of April, and we did launch the vaccination on the 14th. So for the first cohort who received the vaccine on the 14th of April, the second dose is due today, the 23rd of June. So we are here at Kalingalinga with the World Health Organization country rep, UNICEF country rep, to receive our second dose. Again, this is to encourage the Zambians that for you to get maximum protection, get your first dose, and when your second dose is due, go for it, get it.
Dr. Malama adds that the benefit of accessing the vaccines outweighs that of not getting vaccinated as the country continues to record high numbers of infections and death. He cites that no one from Zambia and other neighboring countries has died by simply accessing the vaccines.
The story in our country continues to be worrisome. Today, in the last 24 hours, we've lost 50 Zambians, unacceptable from a disease which is preventable. We have well over 1,200 who are admitted. And also, as if that's not enough, yesterday we saw unprecedentedly high admission in our facilities. Close to 300 people admitted. And we only discharged 116. So you can see that our healthcare facilities continue to be overwhelmed.
And the permanent secretary says government is making efforts to ensure that more vaccines arrive in the country to allow more citizens access the vaccines.
The government of the Republic of Zambia remains committed to mobilize more vaccines. We updated the nation that within June we are expecting another 108,000 doses of AstraZeneca. Again in July we are expecting another 120,000 doses of AstraZeneca. Within June, going to July, we expect 100,000 doses of Sinopharm. And yesterday we made a big announcement where government has mobilized resources from the Treasury, and also the World Bank has supplemented. And Zambia will be receiving 4.4 million doses of Johnson & Johnson, which is a single jab vaccine, in the third quarter.
And cooperating partners from UNICEF and the World Health Organizations have emphasized the importance of getting vaccinated by all Zambians.
The majority survive this disease. So people should be positive and know that even if I am COVID-19 positive, it is not a death sentence. If I do the right measures, seek help early, I can make it. We can't predict who will not make it, but since we can't do that, when you are unwell, simply go and seek care. And if the medical workers assess you, then they will decide who should go into a facility, who can be managed at home, and guidance has been provided.
Just an appeal that when the second round comes, those who didn't get should go for the vaccine, and also they should advocate to the subjects so that they take the vaccine when an opportunity arises. The vaccine is safe. Here I am, I've taken my second one, and I'm still fine.
COVID-19 deaths and infections can be prevented if all Zambians continue to practice the 5 golden rules. Prudence Jota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Details on the arrival of the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccination. If you know you had gotten the first dose of the vaccination and you are due to receive your next dose, please go ahead and visit. Most health facilities are actually offering the second dose of the COVID-19. One of the other things that happened during the course of the week is, guys,
I was very disappointed.
People can kill you before your time.
I was very disappointed because in as much as we want to get the likes and the shares and the comments on social media,
it was so sad.
It's sad that.
And it's not the first time.
It's not the first time it's happening. I remember the last time it happened, it was the woman that Irene Lilanda, the one that sang Mumbai Yo Yo. Yeah, I remember a certain media, not a media house, Facebook, page posted that she's passed, and people had to make phone calls, and she was alive. And then it went to as far as someone actually posting to say the fourth Republican president, Rupiah Banda, has actually passed on when he's actually well and alive.
And you know, this, I always wonder, like, how does somebody even just
You just
begin
sit.
to die? You just say,
You
oh,
just
I
start-
think let me start this rumor.
Yeah.
It makes sense and it may be fun. If people can trace where these things come from, I would want to see people locked up.
I think there should be. I think among
For that,
cyber
because
crime
it's-
and cyber security, there should be something like that.
Yes, definitely
should be
there is
like
something,
that.
because, you know, it's so unfair. Imagine being asked if you're alive.
Hello, how are you?
No, I heard
Are
you
alive?
died.
Hey, I heard you died. Imagine.
No. That is unacceptable.
It's a no-no. It's a no-no.
By all standards. And you know, even before Dr. Kenneth Kaunda actually passed away, I think I've heard more than 10 rumors of his passing, where you actually even begin to believe that he has passed away, even before he died.
Which is a bad thing.
Yes, so you know, this system needs to come to an end. It needs to stop.
Stop, Wena. Stop.
Because, you know, having had somebody that was dealing with cancer, he's busy where he is, getting the therapy that he needs, and then he has to deal with this.
Which is actually depressing on the other side. Like, imagine someone wishing. It's literally.
And you know, when you are
someone
sick,
your state of mind is not in the right places. So when you hear about such things, it depresses you. So let's just be aware of what we post on social media, considering the fact that it might affect the next person, and you might not know the impact that can actually bring on their lives. So let's take a look at the clip where someone actually started a rumor that the fourth Republican president, Rupiah Banda, has died, and then we continue with the conversation on the other side.
Yes, I just want to say that I'm feeling much better. Thank you so much. I'm undergoing my treatment and looking forward to returning home soon. Just so sad that I'm returning to Zambia without Dr. Kaunda. But otherwise, I'm well. I'm recovering soon. I've received my third chemotherapy 5 days ago, and I'm getting ready to return home soon.
There you have it. Very well, receiving his chemotherapy, and he says he's looking forward to actually getting back home, and we're looking forward to actually welcoming him.
we take a short break. To join us on the other side.
Camnet TV is here to entertain, educate and inform you. Catch Rise and Thrive at 07:30 hours every Saturday. Fresh and new praise and worship comes Monday to Friday at 8 hours. Kids need to be glued to the TV every weekday at 09 hours for their favorite cartoons. Off the pitch with the boys as they talk about sport on Saturdays at 09:30 hours.
Remember, we are also here to entertain you with our different varieties of movies every weekday at 10 hours. Join Pastor Victoria and Moses Chilua with Healing Word Ministries International Church live sermon every Sunday at 10 hours.
Katamanda brings to you another journey of gospel ministers on Saturdays at 10:30 hours. The verdict comes to your screens at 17:45 hours. Join the Revival Harvest Church every Sunday at 18:30 hours.
Every Monday to Saturday, join us on the news desk at 12 hours as we bring to you the midday news, and at 19:30 hours Central African time every day for the main bulletin.
The ministry with Pastor Moses Chilua comes every Friday at 20:45 hours. On Mondays, it's your favorite national matters at 20:45 hours.
Wednesday and Thursday, Pastor Victoria and Moses Chilua are on Partnership of Greatness with different spiritual teachings at 20:45 hours.
And Frank on Camnet comes to your screen every Tuesday at 20:45 hours.
Camnet TV, not just another channel. Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time 0730 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue The Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Apex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.
You're watching the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show right here on Camnet TV, not just another channel. If you want to get interactive, the numbers that you are getting in touch on are 0968675273 and 0973167840. Let's get interactive. The question that we are asking you today is, do you think the United Party for National Development, UPND, and the ruling Patriotic Front, PF, have learned their lesson in regards to political violence after the ECZ ban? We saw quite a number of violent activities in Nakonde, in Namwala, and also in Lusaka, where the ban was imposed, meaning that no road shows, no
door-to-door campaigns,
no door-to-door campaigns still there, but restricted to only 3 political party members and no rallies. But do you think after the ban was imposed, they have learned their lesson?
I think now Zambia did, but knowing the main opposition and the ruling, probably something will come up at some point. But I think they've actually learned their lesson, because the 4 districts have just forgotten which ones they are specific.
Namwala, Lusaka,
Nakonde.
Which other one? Is Namwala?
Namwala is already there. Which one is the 4th one? So campaign.
Pulungu.
So campaigns are campaign. It doesn't matter whether it's one district where you have been banned to campaign from, and just in line with the ECZ and the PF and the Patriotic, the PF and the UPND being banned from certain districts from campaigning, Kambulu was actually pleading with the ECZ to lift the ban, the campaign ban on the PF and the UPND. But they should just wait. Let the 14 days pass. I think it's high time that.
I think a day when it comes to campaigning is huge.
So
an hour when it comes to campaigning is big, because you never know when you actually convince a person to join your political party or to actually vote for you, or give a person an opportunity to actually listen to your party's manifesto. So time is of the essence, and time is what these political parties don't have. But I think at this particular moment, most people have made up their mind as to who exactly they are voting for.
Are you sure?
But then there's some, I think, like I always say on this platform, and I've said this a number of times, is I think for me personally, let me speak on my own behalf, it's not about what you do during the campaign period where ECZ announces to say, okay, fine, 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, this is the official campaign period, go and get your voters. For me, at that particular moment in time, I'm set.
You're already set.
For me, it's about the 5 years that you have either been in power or you have been as an opposition political party.
Background.
How you behave during that period of time, what you say, what you do, whether you are the ruling, what you implement, those are the things that will woo me as a voter. And then I'm thinking ahead. So whoever who wins on the 12th of August, I'm now thinking ahead, waiting, whether it's weighing or waiting to usher in another new government. Either way, for me, the campaign period, I'm already set. It has no effect. I can't change my mind at this particular moment in time.
Which is a good thing, because you've already
where
made up
I'm
your mind.
casting my vote. My mind was set a long time ago. Yeah. But then there are some who need to be convinced.
Yeah.
Because maybe they wait, especially new
There's
voters.
certain buyers whereby they've seen your product, they already know about it and they'll buy it. But there are those that want you to convince them to buy the product. Why am I buying your product? Why is it different from the one in the other shop?
Exactly.
So, like you mentioned, there are actually other electorates that want to be
different
convinced.
category of people. So time is of the essence, and they don't have that time. So, Mr. Kamwili, now a Patriotic Front member,
Former NDC president.
yes, is appealing to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, to lift the ban of political campaigns. Let them go ahead according to him. Let's get into that clip and let's hear what he had to say.
11 days has passed since the Electoral Commission of Zambia suspended all campaigns for two major political parties in the country, namely the Patriotic Front and United Party for National Development, in the selected part of the country, namely Lusaka, Mpulungu, Namwala and Nakonde. The move by the Commission was triggered after a spate of political violence involving the two parties. The Commission had announced this during a media briefing in Lusaka on the 15th of June 2021. It further indefinitely suspended roadshows for all political parties and independents, citing escalating cases of COVID-19 infections. Now, with only 3 days remaining for the Commission to review its decision, has announced by ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Shindano that after 14 days, the Commission will review its decision. Many calls are being made for ECZ to lift the suspension for the two political parties. Former opposition leader for the National Democratic Congress, Dr. Chimbakamli, says the move by the Commission was a step in the right direction, but now appeals that the ban is lifted as he thinks the two political parties have learnt their lesson.
ECZ has a responsibility. When they have spoken against something and it just continues to do what they've done. Because you cannot continue on a trajectory of violence during elections. So for me, it is a lesson well learned to the involved political parties and also other political parties that it does not pay to be violent during elections. I can only appeal to ECZ to now consider lifting that ban, because I think the people have learned their lessons. For me, I support the move, because you cannot allow innocent people to shed blood for the purpose of some people going to government. It is not necessary. No Zambian should be allowed to die or shed blood.
And commenting on the peace accord signed by political parties denouncing violence, Dr. Kamli says there's no need for political parties to go into signing of peace accord, as it is a matter of all political parties to restrain themselves from any act of violence.
There's not even any need to go into those things, signing peace accords. It is just a question of restraint. Every political party, every individual must restrain themselves from acts of violence. Why should we even be going to an extent of signing peace accords? We should be naturally peaceful ourselves. If we are peaceful, there will be no reason for signing peace accords. And these peace accords we have seen from previous elections is that they are usually on paper. What is important, Mutima, and make sure there is no violence. Those who are doing violence, practicing violence, must be condemned in the strongest term that they deserve. So it's a step in the right direction to do an accord, but what is important, like I've said, is that people must just avoid the violence totally, altogether.
Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Welcome back. Well, that's Dr. Chimba Kambili pleading with the ECZ to actually lift the ban campaign on the United Party for National Development, UPND, and the Patriotic Front. The question that we were asking is that, do you think the Patriotic Front and the United Party for National Development have learnt their lesson in regards to the political violence after the suspension of campaigns by the Electoral Commission of Zambia? The number is 0968675273, or get to our Facebook platform and let's get interactive.
Speaking of, you know, a political violence.
You look so calm. It's like you were thinking through.
Yes, no, I was actually, yes, I was doing a lot of thinking. The sad part about political violence is the people at the helm, the people who are leading these political parties, you never see them throwing punches or throwing things at one another. But it's us, the people, who are trying to, yes, are trying to fight this agenda of, like, I just don't understand. Like, I'm going to die and have you as president usher you into political office, and then what?
I remember one of
you lose your life, you break your, you lose your eye, you break your bones, your family is the one that will suffer. You are not even on insurance for the PPZ or the NDC. You are not on any form of insurance.
Yeah.
It's so sad that even the youths now are being used as tools of violence. And it's just so unfortunate. This political violence needs to come to an end.
It really needs to.
The Law Association of Zambia recently gathered most political parties. I know a good number of political parties showed up other than the Patriotic Front. And is it the Socialist Party also went present, and a few other political parties did not show up, but they signed a charter pledging to ending violence, pledging to commit to not be violent. And we also saw the UPND and the Patriotic Front in Kabushi constituency signing an agreement to have violent-free campaigns. I think we need to see more of that.
We need to see more of that. And also, I remember one of the stakeholders actually saying that 100 kwacha is not worth your life.
No, it's not.
That bag of milme is not worth your life. That bicycle, that chitenge material.
Okay, imagine a situation where, since it's well established, it's not a secret, that the main perpetrators of political violence in this country are the United Party for National Development and the Patriotic Front. So with that being said, imagine a situation where both their political party leaders, I'm not talking about the Secretary General, I'm not talking about the spokesperson, no, I'm talking about the presidential candidates. Aside from President Edgar Lungu being the Republican president, as it is, he is also the Patriotic Front president. At that level, him as the Patriotic Front president and the UPND's Hakainde Hichilema as the UPND president coming together and denouncing political violence. I think
good, actually.
That would be, I think that would set the bar. You know, it's different even in a household, eh?
Yeah, when mom and dad fight. Well, we're not allowed to see that, but we get to see things
and
like
then,
that
you know,
sometimes.
the thing is that it's the children that suffer.
True.
And then at the end of the day, you know, I'm sure you've had this encounter where you misbehave when you were younger, and then your mom would say, I'll come and tell your father. Because you know that in the household, the final authority is your father. So imagine a situation where them being the final authority in their political parties actually put a stop to it. We as a people who are not members of these political parties, we are crying. Even the members themselves are crying because houses have been burnt.
Cars have been destroyed.
A lot of, yes, a lot of things.
Lives have been lost.
Exactly, lives have been lost. I don't know how many people should die
for the political violence to end.
For the political violence to end, and even for these political party leaders to actually stand up and condemn violence. Because we know who they are. We know exactly what they are doing, whether provoked or not provoked. The fact is that they are both quite violent.
But anyway, I was disappointed when I was reading the political violence stories from different districts. And I remember on this particular show, I actually mentioned the time the campaign period was actually opened by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. I mentioned to say it's quite impressive that people, different political parties can actually campaign in the same area. The other one will be going this side, the other one will be going this side. Now, coming to learn that there's political violence, and it's gotten to an extent where people are now even burning each other's cars. The pangas.
Imagine you work hard for your car and then someone just comes to burn it.
Why are you fighting each other? The leaders don't even, you will never see the MDC presidential candidate or the UNIP presidential candidate with a panga and going to fight the presidential candidate for MDC. You will not see them fight each other.
No.
But where you got the behavior of fighting each other is what you don't need to shed blood for you to get a certain seat. You can get it as clean as you. Go and just do your job. Tell them your manifesto, what you're going to do for the country once you're voted into power. What are you giving them that they don't have? Or what are you doing that the other political party is not doing? That's how you win people's hearts. I feel like they're decampaigning themselves. The more violence, the more decampaigning the party is doing, whatever party is doing to themselves.
And people should never get tired of denouncing political violence.
We denounce political
violence. Because, you know, this is a seed that we are sowing. This is a seed that we are sowing.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
We're all right, thank you. How are you, sir? Who are we talking to and where are you calling us from?
We're in Lusaka, Gift.
Please go ahead with your contribution, Gift.
Thank you so much. On the same, this beating each other within Lusaka, people say about Lusaka better. Sure. Anyway, I will start with the shooting that Mandela. Who attacked who? Then now I'll come to the Kanyama. Who attacked who? Really, of course, just saying like maybe two of you there. Maybe the other one who's on the left-hand side. She's being attacked by the one who's on the right-hand side. Of course, at the end of the day, the people watching, they'll say the two are all the same. You get it right? Are you with me? I don't know. Maybe I'm involved with legal, but I'm trying to open up to say you see who's doing that.
All right, Gift.
So at the end of the day, it's the ruling party who attacks the opposition. I've never seen opposition go and attacking when the ruling party are having right somewhere. Let's say maybe the ruling party they are having a rally. They had a rally way back before UPND went to Kanyama. You never heard anyone go there and attack the ruling party because they were having a road show in Kanyama. But why every time when they see the police having a rally, that's when they go and attack. And the police, they will do nothing. It's over. Try to chase away the one attacking the other one. They will throw together on the opposite side. Anyway, have a good day, people. If you're following your program.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gift.
You're welcome.
He raised quite valid points there. It's just difficult sometimes to establish, especially if you were not physically present.
Eyewitness.
You witnessed something like that? Please tell us your encounter.
I was just,
Where was that?
Remember, no. I'm saying if you were not there, I'm saying if you were not an eyewitness, it's actually hard to figure out who attacked who and what really triggered the whole fighting back.
I like what he said. He said, you know, it makes everybody look bad at the end of the day, and that's what violence does. When you, it's like, you know, the saying to avoid a fool, sometimes you look like a fool. You look bad at the end of the day. If a mad person slaps you in the road,
slap them back. That's how you look bad. If you slap them back, you look. That's what I'm trying to say. What
I'm trying to say is that if a mad person slaps you and then you start extending words with that mad person, both of you look crazy.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what is happening.
And also,
whether it's the UPND attacking the PF or it's the PF attacking the UPND, whichever way, they are both looking bad in the eyes of the people.
And I like the stance that actually the ECZ that took to ban both parties. They didn't look at who attacked who at a particular time or who did what at that particular time. They just tagged the whole situation as political violence, and it's what they're trying to denounce.
Yeah.
So them going that road, I didn't actually condemn them. So let's just denounce political violence. That's all we can say. Let's have a peaceful, free and fair elections, campaigns. Less than 2 months to go. Arien.
Yes, please. Well, we'll leave you with this documentary in honor of the first Republican president, Dr. David Kenneth Kaunda, who passed away.
Yeah.
We are mourning. The whole world is mourning. We have received condolence messages from all parts of the world. He was the last man standing in regards to one of the people that actually helped Zambia gain independence, and our neighboring countries, which include Zimbabwe, which include Botswana, Malawi, South Africa. He has had a hand in playing a huge role in helping our neighboring countries.
Icon.
It's amazing to see pictures of him walking with people like Martin Luther King,
Nelson
Mandela, the Queen Victoria herself, and well, let's honor him. Be prepared to receive his body in the district that you are in provincial districts around the 10 provinces in the country. Let's mourn our hero, our father, with respect and the honor that he deserves. So from Precious and I, it's bye-bye. Enjoy the next documentary.
Happy Saturday.
Bye-bye. God bless.
Africa, mayo, Africa, la mama,
Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, born on the 28th of April 1924 in Luwa near Chinsali, Northern Rhodesia, now Zambia, died on the 17th of June 2021 in Lusaka, Zambia. Dr. Kaunda was a politician who led Zambia to independence in 1964 and served as the country's president until 1991. Kaunda's father, who was born from Nyasaland, now Malawi, was a school teacher. His mother, also a teacher, was the first African woman to teach in colonial Zambia. Both taught among the Bemba ethnic group in northern Zambia, where Kaunda received his early education, completing secondary school at Manali Boys in the early 1940s. Like the majority of Africans in colonial Zambia who achieved some measure of middle-class status, he also began to teach first in colonial Zambia and in the mid-1940s in Tanganyika, now Tanzania. Kaunda returned to Zambia in 1949. In that year, he became an interpreter and advisor on African affairs to Sir Stewart Go Brown. a liberal white settler and a member of the Northern Rhodesian Legislative Council. Kaunda acquired knowledge of the colonial government as well as political skills, both of which served him well when later that year he joined the African National Congress, ANC, the first major intercolonial organization in Northern Rhodesia.
But I'm a man with a conscience, clear conscience. God is hearing me. I can never sell out Africa. Never. Not me. Not these boys here. Not these girls here. We are men and women of principle. We have done all these things in search of peace. But it has to be genuine peace, based on sincere, genuine majority rule. Anything else, you can kill us. Zambians will be born out of our blood. Will continue to fight.
In the early 1950s, Kaunda became the ANC Secretary General, functioning as its chief organizing officer, a role that brought him into close contact with the movement's rank and file. Thus, when the leadership of the ANC clashed over strategy in 1958 to 1959, Kaunda carried a major part of the ANC operating structure into a new organization, the Zambia African National Congress. Kaunda became president of the new organization and skillfully used it to forge a militant policy against the British plan for a federation of the three Central African colonies, Southern Rhodesia, Northern Rhodesia and Nyasaland. African leaders opposed and feared any such federation because it would tend to place ultimate power in the hands of a white minority of settlers. Kaunda employed the Zambian Congress as an instrument for executing what he called positive non-violent action, a form of civil disobedience against the federation policy. His campaign had two major results. First, the British government modified the federation policy and eventually agreed to discard it. Second, their imprisonment of Kaunda and other militant leaders elevated them to the status of national heroes in the eyes of the people. Thus, from 1960 on, the nationwide support of Zambia's independence movement was secured, as was too the dominant status of Kenneth Kaunda in that movement. Kaunda was released from prison by the colonial government on January 8, 1960. At the end of that month, he was elected president of the United National Independence Party, UNIP, which had been formed in October 1959 by Mainza Chona, a militant nationalist who was disenchanted with the older ANC. The UNIP enjoyed spectacular growth, claiming 300,000 members by June 1960. In December 1960, the British colonial authorities invited Kaunda and several other UNIP leaders to participate in discussion on the status of the three colonies at a conference in London. Early in the following year, the British government announced that formal decolonization of Zambia will commence. The first major elections leading to final decolonization were held in October 1962. The constitutional proposal upon which the election was based provided the European settlers in Northern Rhodesia with a disproportionate share of the votes. Yet, the two major African parties, the UNIP and ANC, gained a majority of the votes. The UNIP was the winner, gaining 15 of the 37 seats in the new Legislative Council. The UNIP's success was attributed overwhelmingly to the leadership of Kaunda. He had been astute both in allying the European settlers' fears that an African regime would unfairly disregard their interests and in quelling the functionalism prevalent in large sections of the country's African population. It was this same skill that enabled Kaunda to negotiate further constitutional advances, and in 1964, Zambia was granted independence with Kaunda as its president. Like other African leaders, Kaunda faced many complex post-independence problems.
We have been here under the British for over 70 years. We never became capitalists. Never. We have remained humanists. Even Even when we are discriminated against, oppressed, killed, shot at like wild animals, we remain humanists. I remember distinctly in 1958, at the height of the Federation, when Zelensky coughed, that was the law. We came out with the constitution of the party, which was humanistic. Who is supposed to tell us today that because our Chinese brothers are building that level for us, we are going to go communist? What an idiot. We respect the thinking of Chinese people. We respect them. They are our friends. They are building a level for us. They have assured us that they are here to build a railway. They are building these roads in Zambia. At no time have I heard of a Chinese man interfering with our politics here. No, nothing.
Especially the issue of tribalism, he succeeded in continuing to negotiate on this issue, saving Zambia the trauma of tribal civil war. Nevertheless, inter-party political violence occurred during the elections of 1968, in which Kaunda and his party were returned to power. In response, Kaunda in 1972 imposed one-party rule on Zambia, and in 1973 he introduced a new constitution that ensured his party's uncontested rule. In the 1970s, Kaunda's government acquired a majority interest in the country's copper mining operations and undertook to manage other industries as well. While investing large sums in the mining sector, the government neglected agriculture while nevertheless having to spend increasing sums of subsidized food for the urban poor. These policies reduced agricultural production and increased Zambia's dependence on exports of copper and on foreign loans and aid. From the 1970s on, as a result of these policies, unemployment rose, living standards steadily declined, and the provision of education and other social services decayed. In foreign affairs, Kaunda led other countries of Southern Africa in confronting the white minority governments of Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, and South Africa.
We wish the ZANU-PF government more and more victories. At this juncture, I would like to say to the women and youth of Namibia, do not despair. Your day cannot be far off now. Persevere. Stick together in firm unity under the leadership of SWAPO, and all will be well.
He imposed economic sanctions against Rhodesia in the 1970s at great cost to his country's own economy, and in the late 1970s he allowed Zambia to be used as a base by black nationalist guerrillas led by Joshua Nkomo. In 1976, Kaunda assumed emergency powers and he was re-elected as president in one-candidate elections in 1978 and 1983. Several attempted coups against him in the early 1980s were squashed. The Zambian economy continued to deteriorate owing to a fall in the world price of copper, Zambia's chief export, the rising price of oil, the withdrawal of foreign aid and investment by developed countries, and worsening corruption within Kaunda's government. With public dissatisfaction mounting and a credible political opposition in the process of formation, Kaunda in 1990 legalized opposition parties and set the stage for free multi-party elections in 1991. In the elections held late that year, Kaunda and UNIP were defeated by the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy (MMD) in a landslide. Kaunda's successor, Frederick Chiluba, took office on November 2, 1991. After leaving office, Kaunda clashed frequently with Chiluba's government and the MMD. He planned to run against Chiluba in the 1990 presidential election, but was barred from doing so after constitutional amendments were passed that made him ineligible. On December 25, 1997, Kaunda was arrested on charges of inciting an attempted coup that had occurred earlier that year in October. He was released 6 days later.
I said I would not shave until I was told why I was in prison. Today, God is great indeed. I'm out, but I've not been told why I was in prison for 5 months and 7 days. Why? I still don't know.
But he was placed under house arrest until all charges were withdrawn in June 1998. The next month, Kaunda announced that he would resign from his role as UNIP's president once a successor was chosen. However, the lack of agreement regarding his successor caused a rift within the UNIP, and ultimately Kaunda did not resign until 2000. In March 1999, a judge ruled that Kaunda should be stripped of his Zambian citizenship because his parents were from Malawi, and furthermore, because of the fact that Kaunda had held office illegally for most of his period in government. Kaunda mounted a challenge and his citizenship was restored the next year when the petition that generated the court ruling was withdrawn. After his retirement from politics, Kaunda has worked towards fighting HIV and AIDS. He was African President in Residence at the African Presidential Archives and Research Center, Boston University. He received the National Heritage Council Ubuntu Award 2007. He was recognized as a roving ambassador by President Michael Sata.
Nothing better, put into action, love your neighbor and yourself, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.